What's going on, everyone? CE420 here. It is time to readdress something I have done a video on that ended up getting taken down. Now, I'm not exactly sure why the video got taken down. They claimed I was selling something illegal in the comment section, or in the description, but all my descriptions are pretty much the same and no other videos gotten taken down, so I don't know what's up with that. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to dive into water curing. One of the latest trends in actually producing this product, and one of the most unique ways I've seen for people to turn over a quick product. What are the pros? What are the cons? Should you do it? Will I do it? All these questions are going to be answered in today's video. So water curing basically is the process of taking your plant and drying it and then trimming it and putting the finished buds inside of a jar with water in it, completely submerged in water, and replacing the water every single day until it is purely clear water, so that all the imperfections are out of that bud and all of the stuff you are curing out essentially is degraded and extracted by the water. But there are some cons to this process, and we're going to get into those pretty heavily because they're actually what takes me out of wanting to do it. So to basically get down to the brass tacks, hit you with the cold water. Basically, you're going to be missing out on a lot of things when you go through a water cure. Now, these plants have a lot of compounds within them. They have cannabinoids, they have terpenes, they have flavonoids, they have all kinds of stuff inside of them that make them great. And when you do an air cure, which I have been doing pretty much my entire gardening career and have had fantastic success with doing that, when you do a water cure, there are things in your plant that are water soluble that you want, and flavonoids are one of them. And when you're going to be going through and making this product, you're going to miss out on some color, you're going to miss out on some flavor. So if you are going to go through a water cure, I've pretty much determined for myself the only reason I would want to do it, other than making content to test it, is simply to have something to make a concentrate or an edible with. Most likely probably just an edible, since a concentrate without a lot of flavor probably wouldn't be that fun to smoke in the first place. Basically, I would not recommend water curing to pretty much anyone. The entire span of this could take a while. It says it takes 5 to 10 days, and air curing only takes 14 days, and it can go up to 6 months. But as long as you get the first 2 weeks, you can use that product and it's going to be decent quality. There is no real reason you should be missing out on a quality product just because you want a product faster. And one of the other huge cons is that you're introducing external water, foreign water, into your bud, and that is always a huge issue. You're going to go through a second drying process where you take them out of the jars that are full of water, dry them back out, and that entire time you're exposed to high moisture, which is going to put you at risk for mold. It's a serious issue. But that's pretty much all I have to really talk about today. At the end of the day, as long as your product is clean, you're not smoking mold, and you're not smoking pesticides, which is a huge issue we'll probably talk about on stream. By the way, if you're not subscribed, we just had a huge update to the streams. You will see in just a second, but I do recommend you hit the subscribe button if you are new. But this has been my talk on water curing. Here is a little bit from that stream where we talked about it the other night. Carbohydrates, proteins, salts, and to be slowly removed, since THC, CBD, and other cannabinoids are fat soluble and hydrophobic. Water curing should have very limited to any impact on them in the final product. Unlike cannabinoids and the most common terpenes, some terpene-like compounds, also called terpenoids and flavonoids, are in fact water soluble. So you'll lose out on the terpenoids and the flavonoids.
Flavonoids, in fact, water soluble. The process of water curing helps remove these and allow for a smoother smoking experience. However, as a result, water curing cannabis will also remove some of the taste and smell, which is preserved when air curing. So if that's something that's super important to you, I know it's super important to me. My weed tastes and smells good. Very important. It can make or break a cannabis that I want to grow. If it is putting out big buds, if it's really impressive in stature, if it's really easy to grow, but it tastes and smells like garbage, don't want it. Sorry, not sorry. What are the pros and cons of curing cannabis in water? Both air and water curing cannabis will significantly improve the quality of your final product. However, one is not necessarily better than the other. I beg to differ. Instead, the best curing technique is the one that meets your needs and elevates your experience. That cannot be argued with, that specific point. So the pros. Water curing cannabis is simple and requires minimal equipment. That's fair. The process is quick, as it usually takes between 5 to 10 days. I mean, to be fair, air curing can take only 14 to 20 days. Curing weed in water results in a smoother smoking experience. Again, I would have to test that for myself because I doubt it. The smell and taste are less noticeable, making it a great ingredient for edibles and topicals. And I would argue that the flavors and the aromas, if you have good quality herb that you're dealing with, edibles are going to actually be enhanced if you're applying the right one to the right thing. Now, topicals, I can't really talk on. I don't have a lot of experience with topicals. But edibles, for sure, you can make them enhanced by terpenes and flavonoids and terpenoids. The bag appeal decreases significantly as water-cured buds lose... Okay, so we're on the con section now. Sorry, I didn't say that. But you can see it on the screen. You're good. The bag appeal decreases significantly as water-cured buds lose some of their vibrant colors and may look slightly washed out. Some of the terpenes or other flavors and smells will be lost in the process. Through water curing, though water curing is faster than air curing, a decrease in taste and smell might not be worth it for some. A significant risk of mold during the drying step. So yeah, that high humidity is definitely going to play a role in how you take care of that bud when it goes into its second drying stage. Because there is a second one. There's a drying, and then there's the chopping, and then there's the curing, and then there's the drying again. So it seems like a lot more work just to get to the same place, I guess. Because, okay, let's map this out. The water curing, you'll get done in the water after 5 to 10 days, right? I'm with you. How long is that bud going to take to dry again? Is it only going to take 3 days? Because then it's a day faster if you're looking at the high end on the water. Is it going to take 5 days? Because then you're looking at being a little bit slower than air curing. And granted, it doesn't always take 14 days. Sometimes it does take 17 or 20. Sometimes it takes 2 months. But if you're going to have the bud on the shelf for 2 months, it seems like a lot less work to air cure in my opinion, because having to change the water out every single day, possibly twice a day, versus burping your jars once a day at the start, every 12 hours or so, give or take, and then slowly going down a little bit at a time until you don't really have to at all.